Welcome back to the channel. Today we're installing a vacuum brake booster and master cylinder onto my 1975 Bronco. We got our vacuum brake booster here. We're going to be installing it today. I'm going to show y'all kind of how to do it, and we're going to go off the directions. I got this from Tom's Offroad along with the disc brakes conversion kits. If you haven't seen those videos and you want to check them out, they're up on the channel. But let's get in installing this brake booster. First thing we're going to do here to install this master cylinder is we need to measure our brake pedal height from the floor. This is going to allow us to adjust it to where the pedal is at the same spot once we install the new master cylinder and booster. And so for ours, we're setting at about 6.5 inches. Next thing we did is we removed our brake pin and our washer. And if I can get y'all in here to see or not, we have disconnected the brake pedal from the master cylinder. So now we got to remove the old master cylinder. So now we're going to remove this master cylinder. I got 9/16 socket on a ratchet, and there's 2 bolts. A little bit too deep, so I got me a ratchet and wrench. We're going to take these 2 bolts out. I've already cut my lines off of the master cylinder. I've already installed the proportioning valve and all the rest of the brakes. So we're going to remove these 2 bolts to get the old master cylinder off, and there's 4 more that we will have to remove to be able to install the booster. And so there's our master cylinder off. Now we have, let's see, 3 more bolts to remove. We need to remove these 2 corner bolts, and this top one here will reuse this hole. So using my ratchet, we'll go ahead and remove those. So now we got the 4 bolts out. We're going to prep our brake booster to go in. I may hit this with a little paint while it's apart just to keep it from rusting any worse than it already is. Okay, so what I have here is the rod that attaches to the pedal with our boot, and I've already installed my lock nut and my piece here in which will connect to the booster. I'm going to go ahead and install this onto the booster, so when I run this through the firewall, I can adjust it and then set my pedal. So we're going to go ahead and run this through our booster, and I'm going to install the grommet. A little bit too far. Okay. Now that our grommet's installed, ooh, makes it a little difficult. So I'm going to have to grab our pin, and if I can pick it up, our cotter key. And I'm going to go ahead and put this pin in. I'm going to leave the cotter key out for now so I can adjust this. With the grommet on, I'm not able to get to the nut. So I'm going to have to mount this and then set my pedal height and then take the pin back out and disconnect it from the brake rod. Get the pin out. Take the pin back out like so, and then I'm going to have to push this forward to set my pedal and to lock this jam nut in. And then I'll have to reinstall it. So for now, I'm going to leave the cotter pin off. And I'm just going to put my pin in. and then we'll get this installed and set our pedal height. I gotta move this out of the way. Let's see. Does that bolt have to come out? No, it should not. It's a little difficult to install by yourself one-handed, but I think I can make do. Once we get a couple bolts started here, it'll be a little bit easier. So I'll make it all 4 bolts put in, one of which will still be one of these longer bolts. And that one bolt needs to go back in. But then we'll work on getting our pedal set up. What I may do is, while I have this apart for later, I may go ahead and put new spark plugs into this bank, because with this out, it's going to give me a little bit more room to be able to access that. So I may go ahead and swap my spark plugs out real quick. That way I don't have to fool with it later and have to remove this again. So yeah, so we're going to finish bolting this up. Probably going to change the spark plug. I'll pull it back off anyways. And then once we get it mounted, we'll set our pedal. And then we got to fill it up with fluid and bleed it. So let's get on to it. All right, so we got the booster installed, and we got the pedal length set. I ended up taking the rod back out once I mounted the booster. I pulled it out through the inside of the car, through the firewall. I took it over to the vise to tighten my jam nut up so it can't come loose. And I put it back through and reset the grommet. I got the pin in it with the cotter key. So now what we're doing is we are prepping to bench bleed this master cylinder. So we'll pull our cap and our seals off. This thing is completely empty. So I have a bench bleed set. I'm going to hook into each of the holes with a little rubber hose that goes over the top. I'm going to fill this with brake fluid, and then I'm going to pump the brake pedal in the car until there's no more bubbles coming out of the lines. And then we have to run our lines from our proportioner valve down there up through the master cylinder. So I'm probably going to go ahead and put those lines in and have them pretty well ready to go for when I pull these off. Once we get done bench bleeding, I can go ahead and tighten them up. So we're going to get all this stuff set up, and then I'll show you all the process on how we're going to do that. All right, I got the master cylinder set up for bench bleeding. I got 2 hoses coming out of both the front and rear pistons back into the cylinders. So I'm going to try to prop you up here so you can see. Hopefully you don't fall. Perfect. So I'm going to fill this master cylinder up, and we're going to go inside the Bronco, and we're going to press and pump the brake pedal. So I'm going to fill both of these up for about 3/4 of the way full. And hopefully we don't have any leaks from the fittings. The front side didn't quite want to fit correctly, but got about 3/4 of the way full, as well as the rear one. Go to about there. So now what we'll do is we'll go inside the Bronco and we'll pump the brake pedal. And we'll pump the brake pedal slowly until there's no more bubbles coming out of those lines. So you can see the air coming out of the lines now. Let me make sure both lines are still under in fluid. Oh, okay. So both of which are still under fluid. We're just going to keep pumping the pedal until there's no more bubbles. may take a little while because it seems like I'm getting a little bit of the bubbles flowing backwards. So it may take a little bit for all the air to get worked out. Check our fluid level. Got to go back and forth here a little bit. We're going to go ahead and top these back off since we filled the master cylinder itself, the internals of it up. And our front port of the master cylinder seems to not really have any more air in it, but the back one is still bubbling. So we'll just keep pumping the brake pedal until we don't have any more air coming out. And as you can see, we don't have much of any more air coming out of our hoses, which means our master cylinder is bled, and so now we'll be able to hook our lines up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get me a pry bar. I'll show you a little bit more on this here in a second. But I'm going to take a pry bar, and I'm going to use it to depress the brake pedal about a quarter to a halfway. What this will do is prevent my master cylinder from leaking while I have the while I'm hooking the lines up. So I got my jack handle onto the brake pedal and it's holding it around about halfway pressed. What that'll do is keep the master cylinder from leaking fluid out of these two lines, or of these two holes, once I go to install these lines. So once we get the lines hooked up, we'll have to tighten them here and then tighten them down here at the proportioning valve. And then we'll have to start bleeding all the brakes. So I'm going to go ahead and install them lines and get everything tight, and then we'll start bleeding some brakes. I got the brakes bled. I used a vacuum brake bleeder to help me do that. So I got my lines coming out and then going down to my proportioning valve. I got those tightened up off camera, and then I bled all the brakes off camera. We did end up having some brake line leaks from where I had to make some new lines. So that was kind of unfortunate. But now what we're going to be doing is the brakes are pretty well finished up. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is going to be fixing this rear leaf spring shackle. So let me turn you around. And if we look in here to this, you can see that it's pretty well rotten and gone. So I got some replacement shackles for that, or the replacement hangers. I got to cut those off the frame and then re-weld them on. But we now have working brakes, working parking brakes. In addition to these parking brakes, Tom's Off-Road, they want you to take all this linkage off and manually ratchet them in before you put the cables on. And I got to secure my cable up still. But if you're going to do that, you don't really have to do it that way. What I ended up doing is I just took the parking brake and hooked it all up and then just pumped the pedal. And that operates the ratcheting mechanism in there. So you just pump the parking brake a whole bunch of times and it'll seat up. But now we have working brakes on the Bronco. And so we've made a lot of progress there. Front and rear discs. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for watching. And then stay tuned. And I'll have another video up soon on fixing the leaf spring hangers. So.